we talked to Jefferson's out in Brentwood, and
right.
it went so well. Surprisingly, they loved us, and they gave us an email to contact them back.
We done that yet?
Yes, they have.
Oh,
Did they
nice.
respond?
Yeah, well, they have not responded.
Oh.
But what did you write to them?
Would you mind reading this
I sure can.
in the transatlantic? Because we called them in like a
In the transatlantic accent.
We were trying to have some fun, you know?
Get your time in. You came in late, right?
Hold on, let me, okay, I thought I had a burp. We're good. All right. To whom it may concern, on Monday, our top sales representative reached out to one of your most talented team members and managers, Tess. We informed her that we're an emerging Nashville-based comedy true crime podcast with already 500 downloads. That's right, 500. So I think it's safe to assume that you've already heard of us by now. We're called Murder Schmurder. Now, if you think 500 is impressive, what's really going to cook your noodle?
Awesome.
You didn't send me this version. What's really going to cook your noodle is that most of those are in the Metro Nashville area. Metro Nashville area people, these people sound familiar? Well, they're the very same people you feed your delicious food to. Tess gave us this email to further discuss the idea of sponsoring our podcast. We air our episodes weekly on Mondays, and within a month's time, we'll spearhead. Oh my God, mouthful. and within a month's time, we'll spearhead our own Patreon content, which, if the sponsorship is juicy enough, then we'll consider giving you and your team unlimited free access to our paywall protected content. Can you say cha-ching? Cha-ching! Whoa. We want to break into the next level of greatness, and you want more guests spending more money at your wonderful establishment. By God, it's like we were meant for each other. We were meant to build each other up. We were meant to work together in symbiosis. Do you feel that? Oh, yeah. That's the synergy rushing inside the both of us. So let's just start with this. I've attached a link below for you to be able to peruse through our brand. Then you contact us when you're ready to be swimming, to be in swimming record profits. And Murder Schmurder provided laughter. Sincerely, the Murder Schmurder crew. Woof.
I'm going to be sad if Tess gets fired.
The hell is wrong?
You dumb bitch. You gave these people our email.
I'm going to need a cigarette and a shot of tequila after that, for sure.
All right. Yeah, you lost me after I had to say cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
You didn't sell the cha-ching.
I did not. I was
No.
I was stuck in transatlantic. Can
feel
you
like-
say cha-ching?
Oh, that's good. That is good.
Because it sounds more like a slur for Chinese people when you say it with that accent.
It does.
No, that's cha-chink, my friend.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which is the sound that it makes when you reload your rifle.
God,
Jeez,
where are you going with
Austin,
this?
You didn't lower the bar, you buried it.
No. You need to call James Cameron after this fucking episode.
So,
James Cameron.
I've been saying this word all week. It's from Cars 1. It's the green car racer that says it. And it sounds like a slur. It's Kachiga.
Yeah, with the he's got the mustache.
And I'm like,
thing.
Kachiga.
Kachiga. Nobody likes it either. Kachiga. Yeah.
Is it Chuga or Chiga?
Kachiga.
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 Exactly.
Because Lightning McQueen's is kaching.
Yeah.
No, it's Kachow.
Kachow, right.
Kachow.
Kachow. So he goes, Kachiga.
That is really rough.
It sounds so much worse
I
when
got
it's that little
dressed.
cute cartoon car.
I got dressed to come here, and I put my high top Vans, and I was like, "Look at my shoes, Kachiga, Kachiga." And I did a little cholo walk, and I felt so bad. Wow.
So, anyone from Nashville will know that one of the best places to eat. I personally don't like hot dogs other than eating hot dogs at this place. It's Daddy's Dogs.
Daddy's motherfucking dogs.
They good.
They're the best.
They
Very,
good.
very good.
So we need to call up Daddy's Dogs and see if they're willing to sponsor us.
Pull the same shenanigans, see what we get out of them.
Which one should we call? I think there's one in downtown and one in the Nations.
Whichever one's probably less busy.
I think the Nations.
Probably the Nations, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? You got your thing ready?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm going to move my mic.
I was about to
so
say.
Oh, yeah.
they'll be able to hear us.
They can hear all of us, so.
Yeah.
Oh, then let me.
Oh, yeah, you're on it. If you feel the need to jump in, Saltwater, go ahead.
Turns it all
Do
the
you
way
have
around.
I've got a condo in the Fort Lauderdale area that I need to unload.
I have a big hole in the nearby quarry. Great for nighttime viewing and bonding with your neighbors over a fire.
A big fire to destroy evidence.
Okay. Everyone locked in?
Oh, yeah.
I think we can relish in a juicy opportunity that will benefit the both of us.
Write it down. Write it down. Be ready.
Oh, it's already up here, baby.
It's locked in. It's bottle lightning.
Hi, thanks for calling Daddy's Dogs.
Hold up. We're not connected.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the aux, baby.
Oh,
Bummer.
no. I was going to say, I don't hear shit.
Oh.
There it is.
I just came
we're
online.
cooking.
Hello, friends.
Did you get... oh, came on. I thought you said something else.
I know both.
Should we text,
I
should we
like
text the sound?
activated and then it hit my jizz circuits and I just
just-
fucking overloaded.
I just came online.
It's like a
Yeah,
like a pinball machine at
Right.
Bennigan's.
2 different meanings for 2 different kinds of websites.
Hey, the same song last time. Ready?
Oh, boy.
Too little of that song.
Okay.
Hi, thanks for calling Daddy's Dogs. For hours and directions, press 1. To place a pickup order or speak with someone at our
We've
shop,
heard that, right?
press 2.
The guy clears
For
his
more
voice.
information on private events and catering,
These are our
press
kind of people.
3. Need romantic...
Your call is being transferred.
Hold on. Need
Please
romantic
hold.
what?
Daddy's Dogs.
Hi, is your supervisor available?
Hold on just a second. Are you a manager at all? No? Is there any managers here? In the back, money's here. But if you could just say, So, unfortunately, no, there's not anybody here at the moment.
Okay.
Is there something I can help you with?
Well, not necessarily. We had a bit of a proposition for you, and if you'd let me be frank, I don't want to put you in any hot water with your boss or anything, but if you let me cook for a second, I think we can both relish in a juicy opportunity for the both of us here.
I'm sorry. Hold on just a second. It's very hard to hear you in here. Okay, tell me one more time.
I was just gonna say, if you would let me be frank, I don't want to put you in any hot water with your boss or anything, but if you let me cook for a second, I think we can both relish in a juicy opportunity that would benefit the both of us.
Okay, what's the opportunity?
So, my name is Austin. I'm with a true crime comedy podcast, one of the fastest growing here in the metro area, and we were wondering maybe if you guys would be interested in providing us with a sponsorship that would help us get to that next level, and then get some more people coming your way as far as their appetite for Daddy's Dogs.
Okay, I tell you what, I will give you the number to my managers or
Perfect.
the lady that runs the HR department here.
That would be
And
wonderful.
I wouldn't say give her a call tonight because she's already gone for the day, but definitely you can give her a call in the morning.
Certainly, yeah.
So, do you have a pen and paper? Are you ready?
I am ready when you are.
Okay, give me just a second. Let me pull up her number. Her name is Sam.
Sam.
Okay, and her number is, just a second. It is,
7. And do you think she would be upset if I called her daddy?
well, she's not daddy.
Okay,
Sean
cool.
is daddy.
Well,
so don't
do
call her daddy.
you have an email available for us?
actually do not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Or actually, hold on just a second. Let me see. I think I do in my email. Give me just a second.
That would be.
Actually, you know what? I would go ahead and email her instead of calling her personal number because
Sure.
I don't know if she's big on giving her personal number out.
That makes sense.
Give me just a second. Let me see if I can find. Okay, so I do not have Sam's email, but I do have our other manager, Alex's email.
Alex? Okay.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. Okay, it is .com.
Sounds great. And what was your name again?
Christina.
Christina, thank you so much. You've been such a help. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just don't call Sam's personal number. Just email him first so that way I'm not in any kind of trouble.
Sounds perfect. Sounds great. Like I said, I didn't want to put you in any hot water. So that's .com, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful rest of your night, okay?
You're very welcome. You as well.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
She gave her personal number. Like it was nothing.
So, there's not a manager? No, I got her personal number. Who gives a fuck?
We'll have to beep that part out.
for sure.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to beep a lot of that out.
The area code, because
Everything.
all of it.
She just gave her. Actually, maybe don't call her because I realized I just fucked up by giving you her personal number. Don't send her a dick pic and say, "Here's the next daddy's dog."
Oh, my God.
Honestly, you will have to call the personal number, but say that Daddy gave you that number to protect our sources.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh God.
That was lovely, woman. That was a lovely
I know
woman.
this started out as a kind of a prank, but we might actually get some money out of some people.
Apparently, it's way easier to get sponsors than I thought. You
Me
just
too.
ask, and they're like, "Yeah, you want her social security number too?"
Dude, we should ask if the HR lady from our work wants to sponsor this podcast.
I mean, honestly, if it would help.
She would be.
Oh, does she like you, the Josie?
I would
I
not
feel
say
like
that. I don't think
no,
so.
but she
I would
like
say
you the
probably
tequila.
Oh.
She like you the tequila.
She like you
she
the
no
tequila.
like you the Joe Biden, but for different
No.
reasons than I know like you Joe
No,
Biden.
yes.
Well, she just has to like true crime in this case, you know.
Oh yeah. She has the haircut of someone
But she's-
who's going to be tragically murdered.
She's not the kind of HR lady that says,
Hey, you know something, Joseph? Always liked you.
No,
Probably.
she's the HR lady to commit HR violations at a
Would you
Christmas
be
party.
upset if you found me under your Christmas tree?
She did.
She
We
peer
might have
pre-
to edit this next part out.
might.
But at the Christmas party, she did have some tequila.
and did like to finagle another lady's breast.
All while the driver that this other lady is boffing, who is also married, watched and may or may not have participated in.
Yes.
And I think they might have had. I'm
sounds like
not.
a
I'm
hell
not
of a
going to
Christmas
speculate.
party.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. And then
our
at a,
office cannot stop fucking each other
Oh,
and just
it's a
messing each
horny
other's.
mess.
It sucks,
So
dude.
horny.
there is
crazy.
nothing like some company Christmas party group fondling. I love
yeah.
it.
I come home and I say my
You haven't seen
random
who I
drama.
work with.
Yeah.
Oof.
We
They're struggling in life.
we go
It's bad.
It's not hot people. I would say you and I, maybe there's like one other person in the office, is decent to look at.
Oh yeah, we're like the triforce of like
Right.
sex in that office.
I get
Everyone else
yeah.
is real uggo.
there's something about being like the most attractive person in a room.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also like when you're looking at a bunch of fucking slugs, you know, like
And it's
Just
how-
all
Yeah.
buffing each other.
they're all just like pouring salt on each other. Like, why does this hurt? Brr. Like you're
It's
fucking
how
your
I-
own lives up.
it's how I feel whenever I go to court. I'm not gonna lie.
Court?
Court, yeah.
Like traffic court or like legal court?
Sure, we'll call
It's
it.
court.
We'll call it.
It's
We'll call it.
kind of traffic.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Yeah.
But when you're there and you're just like, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You ever feel like that where you're like, I'm too pretty to be here?
All the time.
I really shouldn't have queued him up. That's on me.
Yeah.
That's
I'm the
totally on
prettiest
me.
girl in the
Yeah, you
room.
said the T-ball form
I
right there.
Every damn day.
Okay, so please help me remember.
Everybody loves me at work.
Next week, we'll call up a brewery. And be
Okay.
like,
Ooh.
Dude,
Yeah.
pizza, burgers,
Brewery's a good
beer.
idea.
Honestly, man, like
They'd be. Yeah, they'd be down for
I
it.
think we're doing just fine.
We're
yeah.
like 2 for 3.
We really are.
Actually, we're 2 for 2 because we haven't done a third one. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
well,
well,
we
just
did
Domino's.
Jefferson's, we did Domino's, we did Daddy's.
So 2 for 3.
2 for 3.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Domino's was like that was a fluke. That was like
That was like
That was us messing
That was a
around.
But if
throwaway.
yeah, okay.
I really do like the idea of a brewery, though.
Yeah, that's
If
super
they-
smart.
If, anything,
idea.
if they just send us free beer for us to
Jackalope.
Please,
yeah,
Jackalope
yeah.
would be
Wiseacre?
cool. Actually, Jackalope I think isn't Jackalope anymore. I think they got bought out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I know a local brewery, a beer brewery
Yeah.
in Cotton Town. I could probably see. I know the
in
brewery.
cotton.
Oh my
Cotton Town
God.
as racist as I think it is.
Yeah.
Well, they just brew in Cotton Town, but they sell
Jamie.
in like
What if we
Another
got
time.
Happen Harry's to sponsor
Oh,
the
now you're
Murder
talking.
podcast?
Now you're talking dirty
For
to me.
those of you who don't know, Happen Harry's is the greatest beer of all time. And for probably about 10 years now, I've been the unspoken spokesperson of
You like
Happen
You really
Harry's
have been.
in Nashville.
Dude, this motherfucker likes Happen Harry's so much. Little
fine.
inside lore about Austin is he emailed Happen Harry's just to say
Drunkenly.
drunkenly at the bar drinking Happen Harry's.
Like
He
an
emailed
ex-girlfriend.
them, yeah, to say how much he loved Happen Harry's, and they
adorable,
sent him
actually.
free shit.
They sent me a hat, a T-shirt, and they bought my next 2 rounds at the
it's
bar
so
I go
easy.
to.
If you're having a wedding, a baby, or any sort
They're
of life
great
event,
people.
invite them to the event. They won't come. They
We'll
don't
just
fucking
send
care.
beer.
But they'll send you free shit all the time.
Well,
All the time.
I love how
I know who we're
I
calling
love how
next
Sally
week.
Saltwater
Yeah,
compared
right?
it to like you calling up your ex
It's not
girlfriend.
the same. Okay.
Oh,
No,
those
'cause he
shifty
still
eyes.
loves Happen Harry's.
No, that's finally sacking up and sliding to the fucking 10 out of 10's DMs.
Yeah, when
And
you
you're
see
like,
a dime
hey,
piece and you're like, I
this
gotta
is-
shoot my shot.
This is me. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. And they took.
They took it.
And they took it.
This is like Austin just DM'd Mia Khalifa and she actually responded, and he's like, no way.
Austin is the Pete Davidson right now. He's
But
Pete Davidson in
isn't-
real life.
Isn't Happen Harry's local here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they're just juicing for any sort of
Honestly,
advice.
it's
Well,
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It could work.
And that's the thing. They I'm on their radar. They know me.
I mean,
And
we're talking about it right now, right?
And I'm not even talking about like from just that instance. I actually recently met the one of like the reps. So
Oh, dude.
maybe
The rep was like, "Are you're
the
you're
guy?
the Austin
You're
Sims?"
the guy. That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said.
Does that mean we should cut out all the Happen Harry's talk until we know they're giving us money?
That's right. Just a beep beep beep
Right.
beep beep.
All right, here's the thing. Happen Harry's is rat piss. And if you hear me say that,
Whoa.
hold on. If you hear me say that, it means they didn't sponsor us. But if you don't hear that, then you never even know
Or-
because they're sending us money.
Happen Harry, send some over, some free samples. We'll taste it and then we'll review it.
Oh, that'd be fun. It could be a Patreon episode.
Honestly.
I'm also just kidding.
Why would you need to taste it first? I've tasted it for you.
It needs to be free.
Heineken
it's
tastes
free-
like rat piss.
Ooh.
No, Corona tastes like rat piss.
Shut the fuck up.
Corona's
Shut
terrible.
the fuck up.
Bro, you just dropped the gauntlet.
I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say.
Don't get in this, Austin.
Listen, you already hit real low.
All right.
He said Corona tastes like rat piss, and my immediate thought was Speedy Gonzalez, and then I stopped myself.
There's a joke in there.
There's something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want you to explore it. I just want you to know
Don't workshop that. Do not
the
workshop
land is
that.
there. It is not the land of milk and honey. I'll put it like that.
It's like pointing out that every Mexican restaurant I've ever been to has a Speedy Gonzalez special on the lunch menu, but you can't really go much farther than that without getting into some landmines, I feel like.
Right.
At least not looking like me, you can't.
Yeah.
You guys remember Slowpoke Rodriguez? He was the slowest mouse in all of
Wasn't
Mexico.
the one that
Fat
had
one.
the gun
He was
in
the
hand?
fat one.
But he
yeah.
back a gun.
Oh, the big chubby mouse? Yeah.
No, he was really skinny, if I remember correctly.
Oh no, yeah. Slowpoke Rodriguez was really skinny, but he was
Who was the
like
chubby mouse?
I think that was just like cousin or something. El pussy gato.
Anyway, that was a good opening bid. You know, it's working out well. We're gonna make in probably dozens of dollars here soon.
A couple more
dozen?
episodes and we might be able to get a tote bag or something.
A
my
handful
God.
of change. You know,
I was gonna say,
Just whipping it at strippers. Like, yeah,
making it hail.
I'm out of money.
that was all I had.
they're on stage like
You roll that quarterback to me, sweetheart?
I didn't mean to throw all of that.
What is it too much?
One of those is a Canadian loony.
I think it was like on Twitter. I saw like one of my favorite things of all time, where like this guy was like, "This strip club kicked me out and banned me for all life," and then like the strip club like tweeted back at him like, "Yeah, you put duct tape on the bottom of your feet, steal money."
Motherfucker, that's awesome.
Okay.
Dear God.
It's one of my favorite things about Twitter. It's just like,
That would be Chris.
like Twitter is like, there's a guy who's like, you know, stealing money from strip clubs.
We're the sticky
You,
bandits.
you have Joe Biden. You have sex workers. You have
was
like
just
just
thinking
like
about,
fucking Arby's on there. Like everyone is on there, and it's just legal. Like I think Twitter should be illegal. Like we should just take
It's not Twitter anymore. It's X. So yeah, it's
Don't
gone.
say that.
X
You've
should be
ruined
just
it.
Yeah.
taken
Oh.
down.
It's already gone.
Like it's not good for humanity to
I
have
think
that.
honestly, it might be like Elon's whole deal that he might have been like, I'm buying Twitter to make it like unlivable there.
oh yeah, well,
Because he's doing his
it's just a
goddamnest.
fucking-
He's done a really good job to fuck it up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There is one story. You can bleep this out if you want, but my boyfriend told me a story about how we went to a strip club and he was just drunk as shit throwing money. And this girl opens her legs, no thong, nothing on, vagina in full view, and she just starts hitting it with her fists. Just pop, pop, pop. Like
Punching her pussy?
punching
like
it.
punching.
And he had just laid a couple bills and he goes, oh. And he just sweeps his hand and he takes back the dollars.
Is that allowed?
But you've seen him. He's like, fucking try me. I'll stab you. You know?
I love the idea of him just being like, I don't want to support this.
Exactly.
I was on board, and then
I'm
He started
off
the pussy
board.
punching, and I just couldn't do it.
He's like, my morality, even at a strip club, is at a certain level.
You gotta have lines in the sand.
yeah. Anyway, our episode,
All right.
Sally Saltwater. Let's
Here
dive
I
in.
am.
What you got for
It's
us?
Sally Saltwater.
Welcome her back, the reigning champ.
I am here. I feel like an evolved Pokemon. I'm ready to go.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
All right, all right.
What do we got?
Let me just.
Get
So
it on.
today, I'm going to talk about the Barefoot Bandit.
Oh my God. This
Right?
is not a Home Alone movie.
No. It's a story of a sad child. Very sad child.
So it is a Home Alone movie.
It's like a Home Alone spinoff, is what it sounds like.
Home Alone had a loving mother and father.
He
this
didn't-
child
okay.
was abandoned.
He did not.
He was
So it's more
abandoned.
like
Okay.
kind of like a Huck Finn thing.
It was like
Little
it
Jungle
was
Book.
like his mom kicked him out, and then he said, "I love you, Mom. I'll do anything for you." While he's in the midst of his criminal.
Billy the Kid.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
All
We'll
right,
see.
all right.
Okay. So we're going to talk about Colton Harrison Moore. He's an American fugitive that is convicted of stealing thousands of dollars worth of property, credit card fraud. He's had multiple close calls with the police, and he is known for fleeing the country, all while being a teenager.
Badass
This
kid.
kid sounds cool.
Okay.
So he's committed many crimes barefoot, leading to many call him a folk hero, Barefoot Bandit.
Nice. What timeline are we talking? What era?
Ooh. Well, we'll get into it. He
Okay.
was born in 1991.
Okay, so
March.
Oh,
Wow.
so like
Okay.
current.
way
Right.
too modern to be barefoot.
Right, right.
So this is a choice.
Yeah,
you made.
no,
I think
yeah.
all of us were like Huckleberry Finn era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No cameras were
kid,
around.
go to a church and get you a pair of shoes.
What do you think about those barefoot shoes? You
Oh,
know,
like
where it's
the-
just like where it's got
The
it looks
Vibram
like
Five
your-
Fingers.
You know what I'm talking?
Vibram?
Yeah. Remember when everybody was wearing those?
I went through a
Gay.
phase.
It was like in college. Like
We used them. For
I could see you wearing those for a minute.
We used them for a drumline show, and I have to say they were terrible for a drumline show.
Really?
Bet. Yeah.
Just slapping your feet up against fucking like hardwood for hours.
Yeah.
It was not fun. And then they started to smell.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
I
I
will
could see him
say-
getting rank.
You don't think of the smell.
I will say someone slightly on the autism spectrum, having my toes not touch, euphoric. Euphoric. Because like high anxiety and you're like, my feet are touching. I don't like this. Anyway. So Colton Harris Moore was born March 22, 1991 to parents Pamela and Gordon. Gordon struggled with substance abuse and alcohol abuse. He would later abandon his family while Colton was still a toddler, and he would just end up being in prison. So Pamela and Colton lived in a small, island called the Caminos Islands, which is about 80 miles south of the Vancouver border. So 1 in 3 houses in this area are vacant, not because they're not bought, but they're vacation homes. Because during the summer, the wealthy likes to come and spend their time. So in essence, it's a wealthy island, but this family basically lived in a double wide trailer, while Pamela was struggling with her substance abuse. It's only 39.7 square miles in length, or in how big it is. And the year-long population is only 15,700.
Okay, so this is kind of like Canadian Native Hawaiian.
It's still in America. It's still America.
Oh,
it's
okay, so
right
this is
at the
America.
cusp.
Oh,
it's
okay.
right at
Gotcha.
the cusp. Yeah,
Gotcha,
so it's like
gotcha.
USA, but it's right at the cusp, you know? It takes longer to drive than to boat to the Vancouver Island.
Huh.
Right?
Okay.
So Colton's mother, Pamela, fell victim to the financial burdens of being a single mother. She fell into alcoholism and substance abuse, just like the father. And the instability and abuse in the household was very apparent from an early age. His teachers even brought up from the first grade that he had signs of behavioral problems. At this time, his mom was in and out of jail. He would start fights, and he would break things. During a court-ordered psych visit, Colton expressed that his mom drank, and she would be mean and break his things, and that's why he broke other stuff.
I mean, he just spelled it out.
I mean, he was really honest about it. He said, she hates me. I'm going to hate everyone else.
I mean, that sounds pretty classic. Yeah, like, okay, motivation, understood.
Yeah.
At age 7, he was taken into temporary foster care, and that's the first time he ran away into the woods. And he would just live there off the land. Obviously, he would be caught. And Colton began a pattern of running away into the forest after the death of his stepfather, which happened around 7 and 8. He would usually break into the vacant family homes of wealthy people to steal supplies. At age 12, he was finally caught with stolen possessions and convicted and served 10 days in a detention center, where he was officially diagnosed with depression, attention deficit disorder, and intermediate explosive disorder. So he was pretty fucked, very fucked from the beginning. Pamela, his mom, recognized the struggles her son faced, but knew that as soon as he earned any good possession, everyone in town knew that it was stolen. There was no way to get around it. Even if he earned it through work or earned it through good manner, everyone always assumed it was stolen. Also at age 12, that's when his biological father, Gordon, was finally released from prison. He came to a family barbecue, had an altercation with the family, got arrested, walked into the woods, and then disappeared.
Why does this remind me of the Water Boy? It's your long granddaddy, Roberto. It's your long lost daddy.
This just sounds like every family barbecue I've ever been to, where someone gets into a fist fight, someone just got out of jail, someone just walks into the woods to never be seen again. It's all pretty standard fare. I feel actually a weird kinship to this kid.
I mean, he would just run to the woods. As soon as the shit got hard, he was like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
So at age 14, which is about 9th grade, he had faced a lot of issues, and so he was jumping from school around the area. And come to find out, he met some bad influences that taught him how to pick locks, burglarize homes, and just get what he wants. But unfortunately, at the age of 14, he dropped out of school because he thought he could get a better career out of burglarizing homes. So at age 15, and mind you, this is like 2006, a warrant was issued for his arrest because he failed to attend court. And once he knew that the cops were after him, he just went into the woods. He would still stay on the island, but he would break into these $1 million homes and just burglarize them and steal equipment, food, ice cream. At the time...
That's an important third thing.
Right.
Also...
I was going to say, this is an easy gig as far as, criminals go.
The hubris of these rich fucks to have ice cream in their vacation homes.
I imagine
it's going to be freezer burnt by the time they get there. Fuck rich people.
I imagine the rich people come by like, oh my God, where's my Rolex? Oh my God, where's this? Quick, check for the butter pecan.
The Chinese.
Well, mind you, this was all going on around July. So they were there, but they would go off to like Vancouver, the islands. They'd be
okay.
here and there.
Okay.
Because as he grew up, he knew to never go to a house that had the lights on, never
Smart.
go into a house that had cars. And the one things his friend taught him is never turn on the lights. But he would do it anyway. So
He's a kid.
I mean, he's 15 years old.
Yeah, he's 15.
He's 15 years old. So in the beginning, the cops knew about him, knew his story. He would usually break into these homes and just take bubble baths. Just long bubble baths, eat the ice cream.
Conditioner is better.
Super
Makes the
nice.
I'm
hair
behind this
shiny.
kid.
Yeah, this kid's gonna have to do
No,
some bad shit
shampoo
for me
is
to not be
better.
on his side.
Because if I was the
cleans
cop,
the
I'd be like, you know,
Here's go full Adam Sandler.
he's not hurting people that can't financially recover.
Yeah.
He's like, what's the worst thing they can complain about? Like,
Although in reality, they'd probably be like, well, these are the people who pay our salaries because they bring all the money here, so let's just beat this kid.
Really, I do love the scene of this though, like this like dirty barefoot kid like sneaking into somebody's nice home, and then a hard cut to him like easing into a tub with Inya on and like a spoon, ice cream, you know, bubble bath.
Listen, this kid has had a hard fucking life.
like,
He deserves a bubble bath with some ice
yeah,
cream.
I've earned this.
This is livid.
Smoking like a Cuban, like fucking like just chilling.
Slipping into the robe after the shower.
Oh,
dipped
you know he's in the
lotion.
robe.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The
Wearing
Wearing their
luxuries.
socks and shit. It's like, that's that Egyptian cotton. Hell yeah.
So what's really ironic is this place that's 1 in 3 houses are vacant, owned by very wealthy people. The police force is underfunded, just not equipped, because obviously you got rich fucks going around. They're just gonna keep to themselves. They're not gonna intermingle. It's not gonna be any issue. But he would increase the level of his theft. So if the home, and mind you, this is like 2006. It's still somewhat dial-up. It's not all the way there to high-speed internet. You know,
Yeah,
you
he's
gotta
not stealing iPhones.
Yeah, you have to really download porn to see it. It's like, you know.
Just leaving viruses on these people's home computers.
Honestly.
His final
I
revenge.
would. I would.
So he escalated. So if you ever went into a vacant home and found a computer, he would sign up for credit cards in the homeowner's name.
Smart.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
dude.
say that's
This
really
kid's
smart.
awesome.
He's way ahead of his time.
And he would use this to get food and high-end camping gear, such as compasses, night goggles,
Ice
a
cream.
high-end tent,
Dude.
ice cream.
And then he just uses that to survive on
Ice
the
cream?
island. Like this kid's great.
And mind you, he's
I'm gonna need
15.
some night vision goggles, a 6 to 8 person tent, and some ice cream sandwiches.
And mind you, like, it's 2006, so when you're wealthy, there were still cameras. So there's videos of him just picking at a lock. And the feds were on him. Whenever
Yeah.
he would hear a helicopter, he would just dip into the house that he was burglarizing and he'd be fine. And if there have been times, especially when he was 15, when he was actively in a home burglarizing it and he would just escape because he was so skinny and malnourished, he could just dip through the windows. He would just evade the police. He would usually hide in empty homes. And it came to be that many times he was hiding in the vacant home and the homeowners would come and find him just sitting on the couch eating ice cream or eating their food.
Sup?
Oh shit! Gotta cheese it. Just
He throws
Jump through a window.
Throws a bag of chips, like, so they catch it, and they like.
So February 9th, 2007, he was finally caught because he had a terrible habit that he never got rid of. He always kept the light on. So obviously, you're in a wealthy neighborhood. The only house that's away for vacation, he kept the lights on. So the cops changed their tactic. They didn't turn the sirens on. They didn't do any lights. They eased up to the house, and they caught him. And they got him under...
How many years was it into this?
He was still 15. His birthday's in March.
I was just wondering if this was like years into it and they're like, tell you what, I got a new idea.
What if we just don't scare him and we just walk in and get him? You know, he probably had, what, like a solid year of this?
I mean, from July to February.
Yeah, so about.
Yeah.
About a year.
Yeah, he was on the run. And there was one point where he had a tent full of stolen laptops and technology, and the cops raided his tent, and he was literally like 30 feet looking at them raid it, and he went, oh, that's fucked.
Just
And
up
he walked
against
away.
the tree, like
He walked away because he knew the forest. He knew what it was like.
Sure.
He was like, fuck it, whatever.
like
He
I stole
walked-
it anyway.
He did.
Hang on, is he stealing it for fun? Because I imagine he has no place to sell it.
Well,
Right.
during this time, his mother was in and out of jail because of drug and alcoholism. So it was a very hateful relationship. Plus his father, who had just walked into the woods and disappeared. So he really didn't feel like he belonged anywhere. And his friends taught him these skills of like, it doesn't matter. They're rich. They have insurance. They'll get something better in the end. So
Which is true.
He never really targeted. I mean, none of the reports say that he targeted poor people. It's vacant homes, summer homes, rich homes.
Yeah, it's
Because-
like Robin Hood, but for himself.
Because he knew. Well, it is. That's what he became to be. He was Robin Hood for himself because he just stole from the rich. He just
That's
did it
valid.
to survive. And they caught him because the lights were on. They made sure of it. He was arrested under 23 charges of theft. And this is just shy of his 16th birthday because he's born in March. But he only pleaded to 3 guilty charges of theft. He was sentenced to 3 years at the Green Hill High School, which is the maximum. It's a maximum security juvenile detention center in Washington.
Okay.
He is just in it.
They call it high school?
Yes, because it's still for juveniles because he was so young.
Sure.
And you could still
Just
put
an
that
odd
on your
name.
resume and
Got
leave
it.
it and,
I guess he could.
In a way, we were all
Graduate.
sentenced to high school.
right.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
the thing is, Colton
Did
went into
like
a
It was
school-
harsh.
Did it, Gus? Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
When Colton arrived, he realized he was actually facing like active gang members. So he actually really didn't mesh with any of the kids there, and he actually focused a lot on his education and his school because he finally had like a detailed schedule. And so he never deviated from it. And he did so well. So he was sentenced February 9th, 2007. He was caught. By February 14th, 2008, he was transferred to Griffin Home Residential Treatment Center in Renton, which is a rehabilitation home intended to help youth transition back into society. And it's a minimum security home. No fence, no uniform, nothing.
It sounds nicer.
Very nice, because he was really dedicated to what he was doing. But
no fence.
no fence. Minimum security. Because he was a model student.
Yeah, but
Right?
no fence.
No fence. No fence.
Even just like a tiny one,
Yeah.
just for show.
Yeah, at least for show.
Just to like at least give
like you
the
can
idea
you can
of like,
hop it, but
hey,
like
hey,
not to jump the fence.
come on now.
Hey,
Oh,
we're getting
the
mighty
wall.
close. I'm not saying you even have to put like electricity on the fence. Just have it there. Like, just like, for show. Like, there's no fence.
Yeah, I'm
No
not saying
fence.
like razor wire at the top of it. You know, just a fence to just set boundaries.
Yeah.
Mind you, he only served 1 year of his sentence, so he had 2 more to go, 18, 19. He could get this expunged really easily.
Yeah.
So April 29th, 2008, 2 months after he was transferred into this home, he slipped through the window and disappeared, and a warrant was published for his arrest. Many speculate that this improvement in behavior for the past year was a ruse, so he would be transferred to a lower security center. But honestly, like, he was 15. He probably just liked the structure and just the love of what he got from
Yeah, he
education.
didn't have that beforehand.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But then the temptation came and he was just like, I'm gone. Cops were flustered because it took them so long to get him as a 15-year-old. They told him publicly through the air, if you turn yourself in, we will only add 22 days to your sentence.
Wow. He must have really not wanted to chase this kid.
No, he was elusive.
This kid's slippery as fuck.
Elusive.
Just come back and we'll just give you detention. Come on.
He could get out at 19.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
technically, because he wasn't a minor, they would have expunged it super quickly. They said, come back, 22 days added to your sentence, no problem. He didn't do it.
He didn't take him
He didn't do
up on the offer.
I mean, I wouldn't have believed it.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
you got a nice little stack of paper over there. I don't think he turned himself in.
Yeah, I've only got like one more page. He totally came back.
So once he was free, this is part 2, on the run.
Ugh.
Part the.
On the run.
Once he was free, he returned back to his home island in a stolen car and began robbing homes. However, the community was somewhat prepared for him. They're like, Colton's back, you know? And they really amped up tactics, and they thought that he would be caught quickly. And the local news started just kind of reporting on him and being like, drunky kid out there robbing. And it just became like because there's only 15,000 people in this town year round. Mm-hmm. So they're invested.
Yes, yeah.
They're invested in this. July 18th, 2008. The media interest is slowly growing, and then it comes to fruition that the cops were in an intense car chase with a black Mercedes. The Mercedes ends up hitting the tree, but from the evidence, the driver barrel rolled out of the car while it was running and just sprinted into the woods. Right? They go in.
Do a barrel roll.
Right.
Sorry.
Right? They examine the abandoned car, literally just destroyed, black Mercedes, brand new, 2008 model. They find stolen credit cards, cell phones, and a digital camera full of selfies.
And
an empty pail of ice cream.
I was gonna say ice cream.
Yeah.
And just a melting pile of Rocky Road.
And a footprint. Plus vomit.
Oh, some vomit.
all,
Sure.
Yeah,
that,
some
all that
vomit.
rocky road.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well when you fucking barrel roll out of a car going like, what, 80?
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, a car chase. So in those selfies, they found a camera. Obviously, he was getting some hype. He was getting some love. The internet is going around. You got true crime baddies, you know, really loving it. Mm-hmm. This camera is full of selfies of him lying in the forest. And I'm going to show you the picture that they used in the newspaper the next day.
Sweet.
Okay, awesome.
And I want you to tell me, yes or no, middle-aged woman would be thirsting for him. Okay, first up.
This kid looks so much less badass, but also still badass than I thought he would.
Sally Saltwater. Like, did they find any dick pics? Because I feel like
No, all selfies.
I feel like I
All
know
selfies.
this kid.
also
I know. I feel like I went to high school with this kid.
he looks so normal, and
Right?
and like well adjusted.
Do you notice he has a Mercedes Polo on?
I see that.
I did
now.
not notice
not
that.
notice
I assume, no one ever mentions this, I assume he probably stole it from the dealership that he stole the car from.
Smart.
Free shirt.
Yeah, just to be like, not only did I get you for a car, but I got this nice polo too.
So for the record, the guy, the kid,
It's okay.
He's still a kid, right?
He's a kid.
He's a kid, but I'm going to say, in the most nicest way I can say, he's giving cunt. You know? He's like, oof, oof, oof.
Oh.
2 hands.
Yeah, I assumed that. Yeah, he looks like a normal fucking kid. I honestly assumed that he'd be shirtless.
I
right.
thought so. I mean, if you're gonna
I
be in
also
the
didn't
woods,
think he'd be so
You're wearing a
pale.
shirt. You're wearing a shirt in the
really.
woods.
But he is near British Columbia, and there's not a lot of sun.
What is that next to him? It's like a generator, and he's wearing headphones in the whole thing. So like, he's probably like listening to music, having a good time.
Dude, he's
As an
serving early
active
2000s Hollister cunts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's giving a little pouty face, being
He
like,
is giving
I
a
don't
little
know.
pouty face.
I don't know what's wrong with people. Why don't they accept
Why
me?
don't they like me?
So a lot of people are wondering why.
his. What's that thing that you don't?
Duckface?
What?
Duck face? Is that what you're talking
No. What's the thing like you like something but you're not supposed to like something?
Oh, when you ironically like something?
No, it's like a guilty pleasure.
Oh.
I'm gonna say his guilty pleasure, Owl City.
Oh,
I will say that's not a guilty pleasure.
For him, it is.
Okay, before we
please
continue,
take me away from here.
okay, I'm gonna make a rule. It doesn't have to be a full shot, but every time I mention a plane being stolen, we have to take a shot.
A plane.
Plane being stolen? How often does that happen?
We'll find out.
Oh God! And this is how she gets us every fucking time.
Ready the barrels, please. Anyway, so one of the
I'm
things.
surprisingly on board with this because this is giving me GTA San
thinking
Andreas vibes.
As I put the tequila bottle in the
Mind
middle
you,
of the
this
table.
is a poor, impoverished man, like boy at this time. His father walked down on him. I don't know if I mentioned his stepdad fucking died.
Yeah,
his
you did,
mom,
yeah.
His mom's an active drug and alcohol abuser. Like, there's no way he could possibly learn how to fly.
I was about to ask, like, does anyone
Except
here know
on
how to
the
fly? Like,
How to fly?
yeah,
Are you asking if anyone here knows how to pilot aircraft?
that's what I'm thinking.
No.
It can't be easy, right?
Wait,
don't
no.
you? Don't you
There's
have
so
to
many
have
dials.
Don't you have to have like 400 hours of like
Yes.
practice?
Like logged flight
You
time
do.
before they let you?
You do. But I
right?
want to ask, if you were an emergency, of the men in this room, do you feel confident enough to be able to not safely, but somewhat land an aircraft?
Like if someone was walking us through it?
I would
No.
No.
Like the pilot and the co-pilot had a heart attack, and the stewardess was like, "Does anyone know how to fly a plane?"
Oh.
Would
then
you?
No.
No.
I wouldn't know how
Absolutely not.
Am I the only person with hands?
No, multiple people on the plane.
That's the only situation where I'm like, yeah, I could do it.
Yeah.
If everyone else had no hands and I was like, oh yeah, I got fingers and everything, yeah. Then yeah. Otherwise, why would that's just a jerk thing. That's just a jerk.
Why would you volunteer and be like, actually, I could handle it, and then you just crash the plane faster?
Grant, would you?
I mean, if I was the last resort, I would absolutely
No, but
try.
if it was like a full ass plane, would you be like, I'll try?
I would wait for a while, just hoping
Someone else would
you know,
volunteer before,
and
like
eventually
5
just be like-
solid minutes before you're like, all right, fuck it, I'll
Seriously?
try.
No
like,
one? Okay, all right, yeah, fuck. Let's see what happens.
Now,
I stayed at a Holiday Inn. you know.
if someone was from like ground control and was like, listen, do you see the big red knob? Yeah, don't pull on it. Okay, cool. See the switch next to it? You're going to hit that switch up. If someone was walking me through it, I feel like I could take direction pretty well.
Yeah.
No, like, is anyone first question? Is anyone here a pilot? None
No.
of you would raise your hand.
No.
Would you?
No.
No, but that's actually currently right now it's a big TikTok trend to ask their significant others if that came up, would they say yes or no? And if they said yes immediately, you knew they were arrogant.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Because my go-to move, even if like the plane is like
It's just hands up.
no,
Woo!
my game plan is I still have my headphones in. I'm gonna act like I didn't hear anything.
Yeah. Did you say something?
Yeah.
So,
if they would just
we're all
like
gonna die. Like
if they pointed
yeah,
at
we
me,
all are gonna die one day. That is correct. So
If
what's
they-
the problem?
if they pointed at me, be like, "Yo, we need you to do this." I mean, all right, but I'm gonna need some stuff. I'm gonna need
I'm
at
going to need
least
6 bottles of the little
the
airplane
little
sized
jack. Yeah, I
whiskey.
need at least a little. I need 6. Yeah,
And I need some ice.
and Miss Stewardess, you need to come into the cockpit with me
Oh,
just to talk me through it.
There you go. And
Thanks.
bring some of those weird cookies.
Is this you getting back at that stripper? You're like, she didn't do anything with my dingle dangle. I need someone to.
I'm not saying yes, but yes.
I can only operate a plane if you're topless.
Here's just
like airplane when it's that blow up
need the
pilot.
motivation.
Oh, yeah.
And the
yeah.
thing is at his dick, and she goes. And that's what
Random
you need.
question. Do you guys think it would be harder to land a helicopter or a plane? Like a commercial plane?
Okay. Because we have active military people in our office, helicopters just fall apart.
Right.
The flying is easy. The landing is the hard.
I could see that. I
I
feel like a
feel-
plane would be a little easier.
Than
to
a
land.
helicopter.
It's
for
a
sure,
lot.
for
Actually,
Right?
It's helicopters a lot harder to maneuver because you're talking about wind going up, down, side to side, all 3
Right.
dimensions, right?
Right.
And so it's very easy to get a helicopter
Jostled
basically in a
or turned
tailspin,
around.
or basically just getting to the point to where like you need to be
Or more delicate.
a very
Right.
professional
Right.
person,
Yeah.
knowing exactly what to do, and then exactly what Sally Saltwater said. The thing about helicopters is because they're so small and because there's so many.
Air,
Like
room for
heavy
air.
machinery moving.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not necessarily the air; it's the heavy machinery. Because when you have such heavy machinery moving on metal, and it's all held together by bolts, so you have to think everything that's held together is just screws. And so everything constantly needs to be tightened and made sure it's
Right.
working properly. Because if one screw goes loose, that's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because one screw leads to another, yada yada yada.
I feel like the same could be said for planes, but I see your
Well,
point.
but
But I know what
I'm
you're
gonna-
talking. I
Planes are
understand
more
what you're saying.
streamlined, though.
I'm going to be more vague about where we work because we do have active combat vets in our office. And I do have anxiety about flying, so I've watched a lot of videos on how to fly. And it's literally the system being like, warning, slightly pull up. warning, slightly pull down. And it's stressful. It really is. Helicopters crash so fucking frequently.
Right.
One of the active veterans in our office told me when he was 19, the first time that he went on a helicopter, it crashed into the ocean. And he gave me tips on how to survive because I shared a story about how I almost died while rafting. And he said it happens so much more than you think because helicopters are flimsy and the ground is unforgiving to helicopters.
To give you an idea, also, when you do marine training, before you can even become a marine,
You have to do
helicopter crash training,
and that's
where
what,
they throw you into a fake helicopter and throw you in the water, and you have to keep doing it until you survive.
Because they're
And
basically
that's-
like, this is going to happen so
It's
often.
gonna happen someday.
It's gonna
that you
happen
have to be
100%.
You
prepared
have to be,
for it.
that's
And
how
that's-
bad
that
it is.
Sucks.
And that's what that combat vet in our office told me. He was the trainer in that because he went through it. 19, first helicopter ride he was in the Marines. He was literally looking at me with tears in his. He goes, "Thank you for sharing your story. I have to tell you something." And I was like, "We're in the kitchen. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me." Great man. I'll tell you who it is afterwards.
Okay.
Also,
You
I
wouldn't
have an
expect
idea.
it. You wouldn't expect it.
Okay.
You
All
wouldn't
right.
expect it.
I'm excited.
We've been using helicopters since like what, Vietnam?
Yeah, they crash all the time.
all the time.
So
It's gotten better and safer, but they're still like they require so much maintenance all the time.
So this is a little personal, but in the Panhandle, Florida, my family, my dad's side of the family, was living there, right? And there was an Air Force base, and they used to crash helicopters all the fucking time. And I'm not talking light. I'm talking like, phew. But the Air Force base didn't know the swamp as much as my swamp people knew it. So they would contract my grandfather to go in and find those crispy bodies of those poor souls.
Oh, wow.
And then my father...
That's a job?
No, it wasn't a job. It was like, hey, and like this is literally like the 60s. He's like, hey, we're gonna give you $200 if you help us through the swamp to find this helicopter. And he goes, the smoke is that way, the smoke is this way. I know where it's at.
Just like dips his like finger in the bayou or in like the gator
in the
water.
swamp, yeah, and he goes,
Yeah, body's over there.
and then
the gators are moving over there. I can tell.
And then it was my father's responsibility to go and get the dead bodies within the marsh, which is thick. So you had to close your eyes and you would just feel around and be like, gator, body. And you would pull it up.
Gross.
Gator found this one before I did. Sorry, that's more Louisiana.
Honestly,
but
no,
I bet.
It was
I'm
chomped.
sure.
It was chomped. So I'm never gonna get on a helicopter or a private plane. All
no
right?
Everglades, no helicopters.
No, I'm being small private planes fall so much faster than like they're just not regulated. It's human error. It's so fucked up. Do not get on a private plane. Just get on a commercial plane. You'll be fine. Anyway,
Barefoot Bandit.
Barefoot Bandit. So
We're learning.
We are.
This pour me a shot. This Barefoot Bandit. Huh?
I already did it for you. It's right there.
That's so big.
You're
That's what she
welcome.
said. Anyway, the Barefoot Bandit, the picture, the cunt face, the media. He grew a big fan base. But a lot of people were wondering why wasn't he being caught? Mm-hmm. So statistically, unfortunately, a lot of home invasions at the time were done by people who needed money, which could be drug addiction, which could be alcoholism, debt, gambling, whatever.
Living in the woods as a teenager.
But the thing is, living as a teen in the woods is he would never, when he invaded a home, he never drank any of the liquor, right?
Huh.
He would never.
I imagine it was because his mom,
exactly.
getting drunk and
Yeah.
beating the shit out of him and destroying everything.
But also smart, but lame.
what? What's wrong with you?
This
I
kid's
mean-
awesome, dude.
I mean,
You're
his
not drinking the liquor?
No,
that's
never.
That's some good
No,
liquor.
he's trying
Those-
not to
Liquor?
get caught. Like this is
Yeah.
probably the
Liquor?
only way he's not.
That's
getting
why
caught.
I said smart, but lame.
Anyway,
But that's the thing. Most of home invasions are done for need. His was so strange because he never drank the liquor. He never had a car registered under his name. He never had a cell phone. And he's a young boy. He could outrun the cops for fucking sure. These are plushy cops that live in a very privileged island. He would just zoo and just escape them.
I was about to ask, did he have a MySpace? Because he
No.
could, but like not.
No,
No,
he had
there's
a
no need.
No, they made a
Facebook.
Facebook page for him. It's 2008.
Yeah.
And it had, I think it came up to 60,000 followers.
Yes.
Okay.
Dang.
Probably
Okay.
all women. Probably all women.
You think so?
Did you see the photo?
Okay.
It was giving pretty
Okay,
cunt.
okay.
It was giving cunt. It was giving cunt, you know? Anyway. At age 17, he finally earned the nickname, the Barefoot Bandit, because he liked to commit crimes. He liked to commit the burglaries barefoot. And he would just leave footprints around, and then he accepted it. He would just purposely leave his footprint everywhere.
Kid probably had some calloused ass feet.
Oh,
Honestly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly. So, obviously, he's been on the run for a long time. He's 17 now. He's starting to feel the pressure of the police force because the police force isn't really that funded. It's supposed to be a quaint town. It's not like Detroit, New York, Dallas, Houston. It's not a big city. It's a very small, quaint city. So they're ill-equipped to handle the amount of debauchery this boy is doing in people's homes.
Fucking Barney Fife chasing this kid. He's just all shaky and shit. Just
Well,
And strangely enough,
you robbed another house, gal.
he was always ahead of the
Randy.
police. There'd be times where the cops are literally pulling up and he'd just be so skinny and so wormy, he would just escape. He felt the pressure was a little too much, so he left his home island and
smart move, though.
stole a boat, a very expensive boat, and drove about an hour and a half. If you do this trek by road, it's about 2 or 3 hours, but it's in the same island cluster right above British Columbia. So it only took him an hour and a half to get to the Orca Islands, right?
Oh, okay.
Right.
They sound pretty.
What? I mean, it's rich people are there.
British
So-
Columbia, Orca Islands. Come on, that sounds
Well,
nice.
it's still the U.S. of A., my man.
Hang on, I
Sorry,
question.
sorry.
So, you know, when you steal a car, the cops ask, like, did you leave the keys in the ignition? Like, and then it, like, then they can start to deduce if there was negligence on your behalf or not. Did someone have this expensive ass boat and just leave the keys like in the
Yeah, did he
ignition?
hotwire it or?
No, it's going to be a reoccurring fact that he just keeps finding keys on the seat.
Yes.
Rich people, man.
And I'm
Stupid
telling
Who
you,
would
people.
steal this
Like-
multi-million dollar?
no,
Right.
like
I live in $1 million home next to my $1 million neighbors. Who's gonna steal my $1 million boom?
Certainly not the Vanderbilts. They're in the Hamptons.
So he just walks in and
yeah.
that's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Come on, give this
And
kid a medal.
mind
the
you,
rich people can complain all they want, but like, can we say that, like there's some accountability for them to like
Yeah,
just
seriously.
mind you, this boy doesn't know how to drive a fucking boat.
He just figured it out.
He just said, "Fuck it," and he just went.
Okay, so but
That's living
trying to
life,
figure
man.
out how to drive a boat isn't too hard. I feel like
Yeah.
like you've got like the
Boats are pretty simple.
Yeah, you
I
got
would
like
think
the
so. The
forward
throttle.
pedal, yeah, and it just goes forward or backwards.
And then if you hit land, I mean, technically you landed the boat.
Right.
So, I mean, like,
Yeah, this
even if
guy's-
you run up on shore,
this guy's just playing Far Cry. That's what he's doing.
this kid's playing far.
I will say,
just like taming bears and shit.
driving on water very different than driving on land. I will say that.
Oh, for sure.
How many times have you driven on the water?
I went jet skiing, and had to quickly learn how to like ride one, and then drive, and it's very different than driving a car. A lot more fun, but a boat is much more stable because a boat, like, it's very hard to like turn on a dime, if you will. But
Yeah.
a jet ski, you can, and you can definitely fuck
it.
yourself up.
Oh, for sure, for
It's
sure.
also probably not as much traffic out on the water. Like, at
If
least
you're
around
smart.
the time the kid's doing it. You know what I mean?
He's probably doing it at the dead of night, but
Probably.
I mean, he's used to, especially in his youth, having the federal agents track the fuck out of him. So he knows how to just
Right.
drift casually.
little lay low.
So by August 2008, he's left his home island and he's gone to the local Orca Islands. And I've looked it up. It's about an hour and a half boat drive, right? The town is slowly speculating that he's there, but they're not for sure. The only thing that they have to go off of is there's a sharp rise in burglary. And this is a tiny community. Same like his home island, 1 in 3 vacation homes. Not normal.
Did they say what he did with the boat? Because he got there on boat, right?
Yeah, he just crashed it and abandoned it.
Far Cry.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, little Far Cry, little Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, for sure.
So he arrived in Orca Island, and this is pretty small. It's about the same size as his hometown island. He landed there in August. By October, the community finally had a meeting to be like, what are we going to do about this dude? Like, we need to make some plans. We're going to need to make some, like, strategies to catch him. By November 12th of that same year, he evaded many setups. Like, they set up fake homes, they set up traps for him, and he just didn't fall for that shit.
A box and a string.
Like an Xbox.
Just like a Playboy and an Xbox.
So, feeling the pressure, being like, whoa, it's too much. He stole his first single-engine airplane.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Shots, everyone. Shots. Baby shots. I mean,
Take like the smallest shot you can pour me.
I love
I'll take a...
I'm the one groaning and I'm just opening the bottle and
Also, for the record, apparently single-engine airplanes, depending on the model, are very dangerous to drive.
I have heard that. They're like basically crop dusters.
that's not a baby shot.
That is not a
But
bit.
it
That
was
could be
your idea.
yours.
Sorry.
I don't want that whole shot.
That's not for you. That's for Miss Sally over there.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
I could not even take a sip. I wanted to throw up.
Well, this was your idea, so.
Nope.
You just said for everybody.
Yeah, it was your idea.
It was your idea, and it's Jamie's tequila. So
We also only have so many glasses, so
Does anyone have
Bruce.
a pickle back here?
yeah, just take half of it. I'll take the other half.
Grant, you in?
I'll just take a little tiny sip off yours.
Take a sip.
I will take a tiny sip of yours. This is awful.
this sucks. He said this was good.
Yeah.
It had good reviews. By what, painters?
I drink paint dinner.
Yeah, it just strips it right off.
All right,
It
do you see
reminds me
this-
of the fumes.
Do you see this? Do you see this tiny bit of tequila right there?
Yeah.
That's for the next shot we're gonna get. We're gonna
Okay.
split that between us.
Okay, that's
Well,
fair.
Hey, you know what?
Oh God, that's a solid burning
Full shot?
glug.
I'm taking a full one like I've got hair on my chest. So
Oh, good for you, man. I'm smooth
Right. My balls are bare. I don't have any hair on my balls. So.
like a turtle.
Nice.
Not really. I got like a fine. I'm like a peach. Like fine down.
Oh, like peach fuzz.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm cool with it though.
You are hairless.
I'm pretty unhairy.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also blonde, so that kind of hides it a little bit.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I've got a whole bunch of hamburger.
It's not like we're
meat.
doing anything. We can just talk about body hair.
Yeah. Yeah. The Spaniard in me, my arms are just so fucking hairy. They're just overcome with hair. Back hairless.
Nice.
Just
Well, that's
all the
good
way.
to know.
Yeah. So you can see.
Do you ever get that one random like really long hair on your back, or is that just like me? I swear to
No,
God,
I
I'll
do,
get a hair
yeah.
that's like 6 inches long on my back out of nowhere, and like my wife's got to pull it right out of me.
That happens to me.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
No.
Thank you, Grant. I feel seen.
You are seen here regardless. So So if I say it wrong, I'm sorry. He stole a Kessa 182 single-engine airplane. He's never flown a plane. But
This kid's awesome.
police discovered DVDs and Microsoft Flight Simulator
Hell yeah.
in which he taught himself.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to
100%.
preface
He's
this
planning this?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
He
had
taught
to
himself
have
how to
played it.
fly a plane.
through Microsoft Airplane Simulator because he was a child of abuse with too much time in his hands. And I'm going to preface this beforehand. This is not the first or the last plane he's going to steal, but he's never stolen a plane that he's never flown in the simulator.
This kid has got a plan.
Dude. Yeah. I'm a fan.
Dude.
So during his anxiety, he found the keys on the fucking seat. But
Yes.
this is the thing. He liked to scope out the airports, the small airports, not big like Atlanta or anything, the small local airplanes. Because, coming to find out, when you fly a plane, if you don't cross international borders, no one fucking cares where you're at. The only important thing that you need to know is where you're landing. You can do fucking donuts anywhere you fucking want, as long as it's not restricted airspace, and you know where you're going to land.
Fun
No one
fact-
cares.
You can also get free gas, technically.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, the way it works, like when you get to these small airports, they basically have like a gas tank, right? And then like you like pump your gas, and then you leave your information. It's like on a
It's on an honor
credit.
system?
yeah, it's an honor system entirely.
For real?
Yeah.
Where you say like, I am so and so, I live here. Here's my amount, or here's the amount of gas I used, yada yada, and bill me this, and then they send you a bill.
And if the company goes, oh, so use 30 gallons, but we're missing, 35, user error.
They just
whatever.
write it off?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is way more cobbled together than I would have thought.
It's a rich man's hobby. Right?
So you can imagine if you have a
So many schemes are coming to fruition in my mind right now.
Because on
Free jet fuel? I mean, come on.
you never leave the U.S. All you have to worry about is where you're landing approves you landing. You can just fly over anyone's house, except the president's house. Don't do that. But you can fly anywhere. You can fly anywhere.
We'll avoid D.C. We
So-
won't go to Dole's.
No, you shouldn't. But anyway, in his anxiety and his just thrill, he didn't check how much fuel was in the plane. So he only flew 300 miles until he crashed.
crashed. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He crashed into the, sorry if I say this wrong, Yakima Indian Reservation. Please come for me if I say it wrong. I really apologize. I want to know. It is
Come for her.
south. Come on me.
Whoa.
Sorry.
This is a family-friendly podcast.
Anyway, it's south of Washington near the Portland border. It's about an hour northwest of Portland. He just crashed because he was so excited he didn't check the fuel.
I
He
get that.
crashed in a field, reservation. He threw up everywhere, just everywhere. And they keep finding footprints in the cockpit. Like he's flying the plane barefoot.
He's putting his feet everywhere.
I like to imagine like he escaped and he put his footprint right on the window.
Hell
like
yeah.
a call
Hell
car.
yeah, he did.
It's like, how like sometimes you'll see people driving and they'll have a foot up on their like rear view mirror. I'm picturing him, but that like with the plane, like,
Yeah.
like, the cockpit's kind of open. He's just got his foot hanging out. He's like, I did it. I got me a plane. Like,
So he survived the crash, traumatizing. He just steals a car and just goes on the run. And there's just sightings of him. They're like, because there's pictures of him everywhere. Obviously in the area because his mugshot, a lot of calls are on him. He ends up getting reported in Reno, Nevada, Sacramento,
oh, he got to Reno.
and then back to Eastern Washington, where apparently the cops could legally attach him to 10 other crimes of theft, right? May of 2009, he returns back to his home island.
He went back?
He went back. Mind you, during this time, his mom was being investigated by the FBI every day. Every fucking day. She's like she's addicted to drugs, she's addicted to alcohol, but she would continually say, I just want to know if my son's alive. I just want to know. She had no idea if he was alive or not. So he wasn't coming back home to see her. She just didn't know if he was alive. I assume it's because those forests were known to him. He felt some security. He knew it was the easiest. By June 19, 2009, he broke into, mind you, he's in his home island. He broke into a police officer's patrol car, stole the computer, equipment, cell phone, police-issued rifle, and ammunition.
God
Oh,
damn.
boy.
Hell
Ballsy
yeah.
kid.
This kid's awesome.
And
Badass.
Once
his-
again, love
Far
this kid.
Cry. Like this kid's playing fucking Far Cry.
And mind you, like people in the community and his mom said, if he's pushed to it, I could see him shooting for what he's gone through. Like they were like kind of like, you
Question.
know, like whatever.
So at this point, you said he's obviously being or trying to be followed by the FBI. Do you know if like any other
Well,
like group is trying to because he's going through state lines, correct?
Well, actually, not yet. He was followed by the FBI when he was even younger. The FBI isn't involved right now. So that's why when the local police said, hey, we're going to give you 22 days on your sentence to just forgive this,
Yeah.
the federal police haven't even been involved in this chase yet.
So at this point, like, U.S. Marshals are not involved. We're not talking about.
We're talking about local people being like, it's probably him.
So we're talking about like Chief Wiggum, basically.
Yeah. But like Pacific Northwest Chief Wiggum. I'm trying to chase these goddamn Bigfoots around, and I got to deal with this kid.
I think he's somewhere up in the sky right now. It's like, can you take this serious? Like, I am taking this serious. I'm like, all right.
Kid's like a goddamn bird.
So at this time, he's technically now 18. And he goes into homes, does his little bubble bath routine, and he's evaded police a lot of times. Like he just can't be caught by police strategy because he's young. He doesn't drink alcohol. He doesn't do drugs. He's in a good shape. He's able to just flee. It's not what these cops are used to. And honestly, these cops are underfunded and because it's a rich neighborhood. They don't give a shit. Like people are insured. Like, that's the whole point. He steals things from people that are insured because they know eventually they're going to get a better thing, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. And he would continue to jump around the western islands of Washington in the summer of 2019. I'm sorry, 2009. 2009. September 11, 2009.
Where were you?
Probably in school. Watching
8
that
years later.
documentary.
Yeah, and I was
Watching
gonna
that
say,
terrible documentary that gave me a panic attack and I cried.
September 11th in 2009. Yeah, we were in school, but we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember that? Yeah, I remember that.
Were we making jokes about it yet?
I feel like we were making jokes about it.
It was teetering. It was teetering.
I got a funny little side story for you. So when I was in March,
Hang on. Stay on topic.
Oh, sorry. I guess that's not important to you.
I mean,
No, continue, Sally. Please continue.
Jokes
Sorry.
are rough. They're
Sorry.
rough.
I guess we're just not allowed to go on tangents anymore.
That's not our thing, Austin.
Right. Not at all.
It's 8:41. He's got a wife. Anyway, September 11, 2009, he stole another plane.
Awesome.
Cool.
Shots.
Oh, God
No,
damn it.
what?
Fuck you, Jamie.
All right, baby shot.
I'm
that's the
pouring
one we're
yours,
sharing.
you son of a bitch.
Hey, I'm the one editing the episodes right now. all of Sally's saltwater episodes are 3+ hours long.
That's true.
And I have to.
They are
I'm
very
the
long.
one
They're
editing them.
Based on my boyfriend, I was supposed to be home
Sounds like
an
you need
hour
a shot
ago.
there, buddy. Wait, your boyfriend said you need to be. Does he know that? Does he know what we do here?
He's been on the
He's
show.
been on the show.
He said, you'll be here in an hour or two.
No. No.
He clearly doesn't remember our
He doesn't
episode.
remember. No. He came back toasty.
Yeah.
What was it? What was his name?
It was like Curly Broadchest or something.
Yeah, something broadcast.
Broadchest.
Something Broadchest.
Saloon Broadchest.
Saloon Broadchest
Broadchest
is what
is
it
right.
was, yeah.
That's right.
For the record, for the listeners, we got so
We got so fucking obliterated.
that the episode got tossed.
I heard.
It's not even like you'll never hear it.
I heard a lot of things were said that night.
I couldn't even tell you, to be
Same.
honest.
Same.
Could not tell you.
Anyway, Saloon Broadchest is Sally Saltwater's.
S.O.
Canonical significant other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
If you're ever
Cracked another
wondering.
one open. So, he stole a plane. He stole sorry, once again, I don't know the name. A Cyrus SR-22.
A Cyrus SR-22? That's a plane. Sorry, I don't know what that is.
From the island of San Juan. And then he landed
From San
back-
Juan.
It's apparently in Washington. Oh, I don't fucking know. And landed back into the Orca Islands, where he stole a boat. I think it was a pretty, like a yacht, not a boat. It was like a yacht. He stole a yacht and escaped to Port Roberts.
How the fuck do you steal a yacht?
It's like a $500,000 yacht.
That's like a mansion on the water.
Because he likes to observe the locations that he's at, and a lot of rich people leave their keys in their like.
I tell you, I
heard it
in
here
their,
first,
in their
folks.
in their
I tell
in
you,
their chairs.
I walked next to the Jacksonville Jaguars owners yacht when I was in Jacksonville visiting my family. The thing,
Not bragging, but
I mean,
Not a flex.
It's not mine. I can't brag.
I like the idea
yeah.
of you being like, I was near the Jacksonville Jaguar owner's yacht.
No, this thing is so big. We were walking next to the crew members. The guy was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this thing can the side of this thing can open up and a sailboat can slide out of it.
What?
If he wants just to go sailing.
Yeah.
You know what?
I got a boat in my boat.
Controversial,
Just for shiggles, yeah.
controversial
It's
topic.
amazing.
Let's bring the guillotine back.
I don't think that's it's kind of.
I'm about it.
You can edit that out anyway.
Don't edit it out. Keep it.
Anyway,
Coming
through
for them
this
yachts, motherfucker. Sorry.
through this time, he did the unspeakable. He crossed into the Canadian border.
Oh God.
No.
Did. He was on the radar. He was zigzagging through British Columbia. He even made it through northern Idaho. He was just
Not
bing,
northern
bing, bing,
Idaho.
bing.
There's
Because no
12 people there.
yes, and he would steal luxury cars. It not like
In
like
northern
really-
Idaho? What
Right.
was it, like a Toyota
No,
Tercel?
Mercedes, Lexus.
That was the nicest car in the county.
Not my Chevy S10. I just paid that off. God damn it. It took me all of 2 weeks.
So, mind you,
Fuck you, Idaho.
There go our Idaho listeners. See,
We keep adding states to the hit list for this podcast.
Idaho gets it. They get it.
They get it.
now we can never call up any pizza, hot dog, or taco place and get
Like they would want.
sponsorships in Idaho.
We're out of the potato commission. They're not going to
Golly.
sponsor this thing.
Are you happy now?
Oh,
Are you happy now?
I think we can do without.
great. So, mind you, he stole this plane on September 11, R.I.P.
Eesh.
September 29th.
Too soon.
The next woman I fall in love with, I swear, is from Idaho. That's my luck.
She would be nice to you. September 29th. I need that. He stole his third plane.
Damn it.
Tequila!
Shots!
Did you strategically place these plane?
So close together.
Yeah.
The tiniest
You wanna
amount.
sip?
Like a drip of a syphilis stick. We can't share that. You gotta put more.
It's the tiniest amount.
Yeah. Everyone have their shots?
Wait. Grant and I did.
You did
Oh,
your
you
shots?
already did?
Yeah.
I took my shot like an hour ago.
Just take it. Just fucking take it.
It gets worse even if I'm having smaller amounts.
I have to go home with someone. To someone, not with someone. I have to go home
With
to
two
someone.
someones.
Sally.
Oh,
I
Sally.
didn't realize that your relationship had progressed.
That salt water's getting salty.
That's salt water's getting salty.
Call it Sally's salt water. Sultry.
No, salt water.
Sally's sultry water.
Sultry salt
What?
water.
Join the Patreon. We're selling
gonna-
Sally saltwater taffy.
Join
Yeah.
the Patreon. We are selling Sally saltwater bath water right now. Only $10 per ounce.
Mind
It's
you,
delicious.
I'm a 5'2" Latina woman.
It's now $15 an ounce.
Anyway,
WB.
September
we are, Joseph?
29th,
I don't want to say
2009.
it because that sound bit is getting saved.
Sorry, Sally, go ahead.
Go ahead.
He stole his third plane, a Cessna 122, and flew 260 miles. Unfortunately, because he didn't check the fuel gauge, he didn't
Again?
get to his location.
Kid.
Yeah. He made it to Granite Falls, which was a lovely location to land. Always. During this time, obviously, Pamela, his mom, was being visited by the FBI every day, worried about her son, where he's at. And she is quoted to saying that she's proud of her son. And she's happy that he is flying because she could never afford to send him to flight school. And he's doing what he wants to do.
All right.
Yeah. With like...
Cool.
I mean, with heroin sores all over her face, whatever. So, October 2nd, 2009. Let me preface.
He's committing the felonies I would have only dreamed of.
Honestly, this is probably the best outcome for this kid.
Yeah,
Short of like massive societal changes that would help like have safety nets for this kid so he wouldn't end up in this position in the first place, living in the woods for years.
Right.
But given our current situation, it's probably the best we got. Go ahead.
So, plane theft is so rare. I could personally, can only equate it to when horses were being stolen in the Middle Ages. Like, that's big shit. Stealing a plane is a really big deal. So,
Post 9/11, sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Take
So,
that shit seriously now.
because of this plane theft, which is what, his second one? We taking 2 shots? His second one?
We've taken
It's
3.
his third plane theft. Yeah.
Pretty sure we're on plane number 3. He has also crashed.
Well, yeah. A federal warrant was finally issued, right?
Finally.
Right. And, state warrant, federal, but he was suspected of about 100 thefts. And this is like speculation in the area because his range of theft comes from like British Columbia, Washington, all the way to Idaho. Like, it's hard to identify. And his only calling card is leaving a big ass fucking footprint, like a big toe print. It's hard.
It's Bigfoot. I'm telling you, this is secret. This is just Bigfoot.
So, February 10th, 2010, he stole another airplane.
God.
We're not doing another
You
shot.
you set us up for that one. I've
Insert
We're
pretend
fine.
shot noises
We're
right here.
fine.
Look,
glug 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 glug. Oh my
that
god!
one
I
burns.
can't believe we're doing this
God,
again.
man.
All right, and back to the story.
a serious SR-22 back to the Orca Islands. He went back home and he landed. He was great. No
Oh,
problem.
he landed this one. Okay.
Yeah, he landed,
He's
abandoned
learning.
it, and went, right? He stole a car and he would break into a local grocery store, steal about $1,000. He would take chalk. Obviously, he knew at the time his name was the Barefoot Bandit. He would take chalk and make very cartoonish feet all around the aisles. And at the end of the trail, he wrote, "See ya." But he wrote it C-Y-A. See ya.
Teen speak.
And he left. And then finally, the FBI and the Federal Department of Homeland Security were involved for the second time. Agents,
Killjoys.
honestly, fuck that. Agents were patrolling all the cluster of islands in the area. Coast Guards were patrolling the waters for suspicious crafts, and they even brought Black Hawk helicopters to patrol the sky.
They brought in the black copters?
They did. And his bounty.
You know it's serious when they bring in the black cock.
Dude, Illuminati's on your ass.
He brought in the black cockters. Sorry, you said black copters. You said black cocks. I put the both together.
Sorry, I thought for a second I was like, did I say black copters?
Did I say
I thought
black
you said
hawk?
black copters.
Helicopters.
Yeah, that's what we all said.
I pray for you in this editing. Okay.
And Black Hawk helicopters were patrolling the sky. The bounty was raised to $10,000.
Man, I was expecting more.
Well, during this time, there was a lucrative secret sponsor because Colton was talking to an attorney. He was like, how much would I get for selling the rights to my story? And a secret sponsor said, if you turn yourself in tomorrow, instantaneously, I'm going to give you $50,000 and I'm going to pay all your legal fees.
Oh, dude.
What?
But you have to turn yourself in within 5 days.
Yeah. If you could trust that deal, it's not a bad deal.
$50,000? Are you kidding me? That's bullshit money.
It's $50,000 to an 18-year-old who's been living in the woods for the
but
past
at the
5
same
years.
time, if I was 18 and at that point knowing everything that I had done, and you gave me $50,000
and paid legal fees
and paid legal, well, there's that. But I mean, come on, I'm only getting 50 grand out of this.
I don't know.
I
It seems
agree.
like a pretty good deal.
$50,000 because you have to imagine
In
he's
2000
stealing
fucking
multi-million
10
dollars.
2009.
2009 money.
In this recession? No.
You have to imagine that he's also stealing probably multi-million dollar assets by this point.
He's crashing all of them.
Yes,
I don't think he's
Exactly.
doing. To me, I know what you're saying, but he's clearly not stealing planes or yachts for the like monetary value. He's doing it for the lulls.
He's
like
just trying to get to A to B.
Yeah, he's just like, how do I get to the Orca Islands? I steal a plane. I crash the plane. I'm at the Orca Islands. Boom, done. Move on to the next
I
thing.
will say the first plane that he crashed, they just fixed it up and put it back on the air, like in the air. It was
Yeah.
fine. The others, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Well, he missed that deadline. He didn't do it. And then he stole a boat and went back to his home island. Mind you, the federal cops are patrolling the sea, the air, the land, and just sneaks back home, like just goes home,
Goes right through him.
right? And mind you, the FBI is talking to his mom every day, and she goes, "I just want to know if he's alive or not." And they've never touched, like never communicated, never really expressed anything. I don't know. Who knows?
My question is, sorry. She wonders if the kid's alive or not. He keeps doing all this stuff. The police know about it, and they're not like, yeah, he is.
Yeah, we put a 10K reward out for him because we know he's alive and we can't get him.
Well, he does a calling card, and that's how they know that he's there.
Right.
But she has said that she has no contact with him.
She's also probably drunk as hell.
Which is
losing
wink,
teeth
wink.
from her heroin.
Wink, wink,
dependency.
nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say
Right.
no more.
I mean, but Coast Guard, federal officers, black cops, he sneaks back into the island, no problem. Like, this kid is just fucking just on a roll. So May 31st, 2010, a note is found in a vet clinic. And it says, drove by, had some cash. Please use this money for the care of the animals.
Aw.
There was $100 left. Signed, Colton Harrison Moore, a.k.a. the Barefoot Bandit.
He's giving money to animals, guys. I mean, come on. This kid is tops.
It's a tease. It's a tease. But during this time, something else happened. Something juicy. He's a big observer. He likes to watch the areas that he's at. He saw this house. He said, it's past midnight. No one's here. They're on vacation. He goes in, puts his clothes in the wash, puts a movie on, gets in the bath, gets in the shower. He's doing his little la-di-da. 2 a.m, the family comes home.
Oh.
Bummer.
And all the reports say this is a 300-pound, 6'7" man.
Huh?
Huh?
300-pound, 6'7" man.
Comes
Fat,
back
big.
home. Yeah.
Comes
Oh.
home. He comes home. His wife, his kids, they just come home from vacation. Long day, long trip.
He's
They're
been yelling
ready.
at the kids and his wife all day.
They've been saying slurs all day. They come in, the lights are on. Because Colton has a habit of leaving the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
The TV's on. And the bathroom door is ajar. So he walks up and he creaks the door open. And this naked man, smelling of lotion, runs out. Scurries and runs to the basement. And he yells at his family, get in the goddamn car. And he runs after this man. He gets to the basement. He reaches the bottom step. He sees a red light on his chest. It's a gun. Colton goes, get the fuck out. He goes back into the garage, accumulates all his family, doesn't even open the garage. He literally backs it up into the garage door, breaks it, scurries out, goes to the neighbors, calls the cops. Right? So then you have Colton, naked, lotioned up, like a baby.
Can't hold on to him. He's lotioned up.
Right? His clothes are in the wash. He's just pointed a gun. The cops are coming. The cops come. They inspect the whole house for 3 hours. Cannot find him. Come to find out, he busted the fuck out of the washing machine. Water is all over the basement. He puts it in a bag. He scurries out the tiny window because he's so skinny and malnourished, goes to the next door neighbor, breaks in, steals the car keys, and drives away.
No.
Before the cops even arrive.
Nice.
Dude, this is awesome. I'm back on board with this guy.
When were you ever not on board with this kid?
Well, I was a little unsure, but now I'm like, man, he's pulling.
I keep expecting him to do something awful, and I'm like, no, man, he just keeps cranking it up to awesome.
So we're down to chapter 3. The capture. June 2010.
Hang on, did it say like with the neighbor? Like, did they even notice?
They just reported their car stolen.
Like, where the fuck did it? Like, you said they spent 3 hours looking for him.
I imagine that
The cops did, yeah. But he was so skinny. Like, have you ever seen like a horror movie, The Basement Window? How thin it is?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
small?
Well, I'm thinking like they spent 3 hours looking for him, and
in
then,
the woods and things, yeah.
Well, like, did they ever like knock on the door like for the neighbor and be like, "Have you seen this person?" And they're like, "I don't give a shit," or like.
No, it was so quick. Like, before the cops even arrived, they stole the car and they were like, I haven't seen this person, no. And then come the following morning, they're like, my car's gone. Fuck.
I
Nice.
imagine that phone call to the police of the neighbors, and they're like, like, hey, like my car's gone. I don't know what happened to it. And then like their neighbors are making noise, and like the next door over, they're like, shut up.
Sorry, there's a lot of noise going around next door. They're really fucking annoying. Right
I
now.
slipped on this big lotiony footprint earlier. I'm just all in disarray.
It smells like sandalwood. I'm just trying to calm myself. But just the fact that during this whole interaction, he was naked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the police issued rifle, like a literal red line to the guy, like the father's chest, and being like, just leave. So, June 2010. After slipping away from the police officers in Washington, he steals a series of cars and he makes it to Illinois. It's hard to see what happened, but he was very slippery because of the police. Because one,
and the lotion,
no phone, no tracking, and one of the smartest things that he did is once a car ran out of fuel, he never went to a gas station. He just abandoned it and stole another car because he knew that
really
the
smart.
gas station had cameras.
That's actually really smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. Question.
We don't have time for tangents, Jamie.
No, this was a good question.
yeah,
I have to
fuck
ask.
you.
With the guy that he put the red line on, did that guy ever say anything about it? Like, did he ever say like he spared my life? Because he very much could have killed that guy right there.
He could have, but he just said, like the kid, Colton said, get the fuck out. And he ran up the stairs, locked the basement door, put all of his family in the car, which was in the garage, drove back, destroyed the garage door, and ran to the neighbor's house. Like, obviously, they were scared. They were shocked.
Yeah.
But the father had a chance to escape because he saw, like, the red laser on his chest, and it was like, get out.
Plus, kid's naked, and he didn't get hard when he pointed the gun at him, so he knew he was safe.
But the father did lock the basement door, which the washing machine and the dryer were in the basement. Side note, he broke the washing machine so bad that it flooded the entire basement. But he was so skinny for malnourishment that he was able to slip through the window with all his wet clothes.
Wow.
Damn. Went back for the clothes, too. Like, I
mean,
love that shirt.
You can't run naked. You can't run naked. Right?
I can't go anywhere without my Mercedes Polo.
So.
Same shirt. Like, it's just like falling apart. He's like, no, I'm keeping it. Like, I love this shirt.
This Mercedes, the Mercedes Polo.
Yeah.
So, it was easy to identify where he was at, and a lot of the federal government told the owners of plane and aviation, lock your planes, don't leave your keys on the couch, don't put them in the visor, stop it. But there was one man that didn't go to this conference, and his name was Mr. Miller, and his plane got stolen from Bloomington, Indiana.
The one guy didn't go.
Yeah, it just didn't go, and he just happened to stumble upon this dude's plane that was left with the keys in the
this is the
fucking
dude-
ignition.
This is the dude that had the $500,000 plane.
Oof.
He didn't go to the conference. He didn't lock his plane. And it got stolen.
You'd think they'd be doing anyway. But
That sounds like a shot to me.
Woo, woo, woo!
knock yourself out big time.
All right.
It's so nasty.
I'm probably done talking for the rest of this goddamn podcast. Doubtful.
Where am I at?
So he stole the guy's plane.
Stole the guy's $500,000
Anyway.
plane.
This dude was busy. He goes, I don't need to go to this conference where it's literally like, lock your plane, don't leave the keys out. He was like, fuck it. So Colton was like, I'm gonna go to Cuba.
Okay.
From Indiana. I'm going to go to Cuba because I have a full tank of gas. And if I were to get caught, they're not going to send me back to the U.S. But he is a child.
There are worse plans.
He is a child. In heavy winds, he drove the wrong way and he ended up in the Bermuda.
Not the Bermuda Triangle.
Uh,
Did he for real?
the Great Abacos Islands.
Oh.
He ran out of fuel because he drove the wrong way. He drove too south. The plane that he stole, technically, in theory, with a full tank of gas, you can get from Indiana to Cuba.
Okay.
But he didn't know. He's inexperienced. So he crash landed in the water, which is very forgiving, where he lived off of a local fishing village for several days, just stealing their trash and like local restaurant shit. Like he just was like,
How are you surviving all these crash landings?
Wait,
I know,
He lands in like the Caribbean in some fishing island.
in a $500,000 plane.
And he's stealing all of their like trash. And not once were these little Caribbean islanders like, where the fuck did this white boy come from?
Because it's the Caribbeans. They're like,
They're probably just like, hey, he's a weird tourist, whatever.
So, July 11th, 2010, Colton steals a boat and he breaches it on a sandbar. And he sees a local on the beach and he goes, hey, call the cops. Because I'm bored. He says, I'm bored. Right? He's like just stranded on a sandbar. He goes, I'm bored. Call the cops.
Okay.
Right? The cops come. Obviously, they know who he is. Obviously, one, he's a local white boy stealing shit from all the local village restaurants. But also, he goes, hey, my name is Colton. Call the cops. They know. They come up to him, immediately on site, shoot the fuck out of his engine. Do not even give him a second. They just shoot the fuck out of his engine.
Honestly, if I was hunting this kid, I'd probably do the same.
Right. He takes his laptop and throws it into the sea. Do not recover it. Hunter Biden laptop, apparently. We do not know what the fuck is in that laptop.
Fuck you guys. Just throws it.
Literally chucks it. And they're like, hands in the air. Pulls a gun on his head. And he goes, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Obviously, they talk him down. He doesn't want to kill himself. They talk him down and they arrest him. And they talk to him. Come to find out, he was going to send his mother to Cuba and they were going to start a new life together.
Aww.
Like,
That's kind of sad and sweet.
beside everything that happened, he was like, we're going to go to Cuba. We're going to live our life. I want you to come with me. Because his end goal was Cuba.
Yeah.
But he got caught. He couldn't read the GPS map of a Caribbean boat. Because in Washington, I don't know about you, I don't know if there's sandbars.
Probably not.
It was
Maybe
just
not.
an error. It was an error. And it was just a thing where he had a mission to go to the Cuba, have his mom come. They would live a beautiful life and they would just live a
Eating
life.
pork and rice and just having fucking socialized healthcare. I mean, come on now. Sounds awesome.
It took 2 days to bring him back to the U.S. He landed in Miami July 13th. And on July 21st, he was sent to a federal detention center where he would spend 2 years unraveling the crimes that he did. Not like pinning him, just understanding, did he do this? Did he do this? Like, they didn't know the level of crimes. Any burglary in the area that he was around, they would just put on him. So it took 2 years to identify if he did it or not. He was sentenced to 4 years of federal prison and then 6 years of state prison, right?
I was going to say 4 years altogether is less than I thought.
I was going to say 4 years, but 14, I mean, still a little low.
Mind you, he was caught on the cusp of 19 to 20.
Yeah.
He did this all as a minor. He was
also,
a kid.
He didn't hurt anybody. He didn't really do anything that wrong.
It was never aggravated assault. It was always,
It was like aggravated mischief.
Right. In 2011, a Superior Court judge named Churchill said, "This case is a tragedy in many ways, but it's a triumph of human spirit in others when it comes to find out that the domestic abuse and terrible things that he suffered in his home life came to light and were corroborated. It was proved that he was a victim of domestic assault." January 27th, 2012, a court district judge advised Colin that it's time for a new life flight plan.
Couldn't help himself.
Yeah.
That's just like the entirety of the call that I made to Daddy's Dogs.
The judge thought of it, and you could tell he was like,
It was
I'm gonna
time
put that
for
in
a
the opinion
new
case.
flight of life. See what it did there? Put that in the papers.
Did the court stenographer get that? Because that was pretty good.
Write that down. Write that down. So his sentence was reduced to 6 years. Right? So throughout the trial, Colton showed remorse and did not resist. He did originally file not guilty, but he did not at any point resist the hurt or issue or financial damage that he did. And it resulted in 6 years of sentence in Aberdeen, and he had to pay back the debt that he owed to everyone that he stole from. So he sold his he sold the rights of his life story to 20th Century Fox for $1.4 million.
Okay, now we're talking. Good for kid.
But he didn't get any of it.
What?
It went back to the people that he stole from.
Oh, it's such horse shit.
Leave it to Fox.
These fucking money grubbing rich fucks, dude. Come on.
He gave it back to the people he stole from. And in 2016, Pamela, his mother, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
God.
From prison, Colton started a GoFundMe to cryogenically freeze her body in order to find a cure in the future.
That's a long shot, but he went for it.
He only raised $2,170 of the $230,000 that was needed.
So what do you like? They cryogenically froze her like fucking left foot or something?
She died of May 17, 2006, and the donations were refunded to the donors. Yeah.
Man.
September, mind you, she died in May. September 2nd, 2016, at the age of 25, Colton was released from prison and moved to a halfway home in Seattle, where he worked as a low-level clerk for the attorney that defended him in the Seattle courts. In December of 2016, Colton started a GoFundMe that said that he wanted to raise $125,000 so he can go to flight school. He said,
Awesome.
Honestly, give it to him. I mean, come on.
well, he said in the GoFundMe, "Now I am 25 years old, free and ready to do it legally, to fly. I love airplanes and I will never steal one or break the law again. I broke the law big league, but when I was younger. Now it's time to focus on my career and a life in the free world." However, of the $1.4 million that he gave to his victims, he still owed $129,000 to his victims. He was court ordered to take down the GoFundMe for his flight school and pay off his debts.
What?
How do they want him to pay the debts back if he can't get a job as a goddamn airline pilot?
So, the GoFundMe for his airline pilot school raised $1,600, that was confiscated and paid back to his victims.
Disgusting.
I'm sorry, how is that legal?
It was court ordered. I mean, his victims are rich, and I understand that. And rich or not, it was a agreement that he made. Right. So
I'm still not happy about it.
No, it's awful because he wanted to be a pilot. He expressed that the first time. Well,
I mean, the fact that the kid taught himself how to fly is pretty incredible in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this kid needs to be a pilot.
He expressed I didn't write it in, but he did express the first time he took a plane out, the adrenaline he felt, the exuberance, the love he felt, and even if he crashed it or not, he loved flying. Even his mom, as you can tell in the past, she said, I don't have to pay for flight school. He knows how to do it. He always wanted to fly. And in May of 2019, he went on a Seattle talk show host, a radio show, talking about his life. He revealed a lifelong interest in airplanes and feeling the rush of his first stolen plane. But when the question came up of what's for the future, he said, I think it's going to be difficult to have a normal life. I really do. In fact, I don't think I'm ever going to have a normal life. And his current whereabouts are unknown. As of September 2022.
Colton, if you're out there, we want to talk to you. We want to hear from you.
So I will add this. So this reminds me a lot of the story about the Catch Me If You Can, like the true story.
Oh yeah.
About that too.
And yeah, like the whole redeeming storyline was they used him in a healthy, like, governmental manner and saying like, oh, like, we want you to help us see the holes in our system and making sure that people don't, abuse the system that we have in place to be able to do more nefarious things.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, the better, safer thing to do.
It's like how they get hackers to test like firewall security and stuff, where they're just like, hey, you know how to get into people's shit. Like, see if you can get into ours.
Yeah.
And tell us what
But
we did wrong.
That's the biggest issue with, like, government hackers. They do a drug test. And most hackers are predominantly, like, weed smokers. Yeah.
But my point being, like, I think with him, like, I think it was a gross oversight to not use him.
Seriously, like, test out, like, security systems.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
Not
yeah.
only for, like, I mean, I guess it seems like it's relatively easy to break into, like, little regional airports and stuff, but still.
No, he would
Like-
monitor them even from the age of, like, 15, and he was caught at 19, 20. Like, it was even when he was a preteen, it was hard for the federal government to catch him.
Yeah.
Because he was so observant. He didn't do drugs. He didn't partake in alcohol. All he did was abuse the wealthy class.
And I think that there's something to be said for a person that's smart enough to avoid public spaces, specifically gas stations, bars.
Well, he's resourceful. He's also not violent, clearly. Like,
Right.
he only went
Exactly.
backed into a corner, was like, hey, man, I'm not going to shoot you, but I will. Wink. You know what I mean? Like, he never hurt anybody.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. When before the big run, in the prior run, his biggest kryptonite was turning the lights on. But he made a point to try to visit homes that were unoccupied. Especially in the story of him being lotioned up. He waited until midnight to see if the family was gone. And they came in at 2 or 3 in the morning, and he was scared, and he ran to the next door neighbor. It's a child. It really is a child.
Yeah. He's a homeless kid. He's trying to have fun. He's trying to, like, get a place to, take a nap and, like, fucking take a bath and eat some ice cream for a few hours. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
The thing that kills me is that this kid was living. Like, how much excitement have you guys had like this ever in your entire life?
I feel inspired to steal a plane.
Like, that's what kills me. Is like, if I was to be any sort of criminal, this is the kind of criminal I would be.
Yeah.
Like, hands down.
Yeah.
You're telling me from the time that I was 15 to the time that I was 20, 21?
He was caught 1920, convicted 20.
You're telling me that I could live all of that and just have the time of my life. I would do it, and then by the time I was 20, I was like, I don't need to do anything. I don't need to do anything else.
And I mean, he stole
Get
cell
it all out of your
phones.
system.
I mean, come on.
He stole cell phones, and there was Facebook pages for him. And I showed you the picture. Serving major cunt. There were people supporting him. Robin Hood, steal for the rich, keep to themselves. Like, he was stealing what he needed to because people felt disenfranchised. 1 in 3 homes in his home island are vacation homes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom is living in a trailer.
Yeah.
Right.
Suffering from alcohol and drug abuse, unable, but he still was planning to send her to Cuba where they could start a new life together. It's a boy that understands the trauma his mom went through and accepting what he went through and wants a betterment of his life.
Joseph doesn't know this one, but this is giving me big Joe Dirt vibes.
Yeah. Have you still not seen Joe Dirt?
I still haven't seen Joe Dirt.
Oh my
So
God.
weird.
But it's so
I know.
true. I was thinking that.
But like
worth a
abandoned
watch.
by his
I hear.
parents. He's going on this great journey, obviously searching for home.
Right. And himself in the meantime. Like
Yeah.
that, like it is so aligned to Joe Dirt in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I feel like this is a real life Joe Dirt situation
Well,
where like he's trying to find himself. He's trying to find a sense of home. He's trying to, in fact, I would say, create a home.
And on top of that, like a sense of purpose as on top of it. You know, like it's
This is a great story. I love
mean,
this is crazy.
He has gone as far as Illinois and always returned back home.
Yeah.
But not to contact his mother because he knew literally every day the FBI was questioning his mother. And she goes, I just want to know if he's alive. Mm-hmm. And the fact that she would say, I'm proud of my son. And she wanted to go to Cuba with him. It's just, it's a victim of the it's just, you know.
He was a victim and he did his best. And he honestly, turned out way better than he had any right to. How many guys have we read about, these fucking dribbling nutsack motherfuckers that have a better start than this guy did, who end up killing people?
Right.
the fact that he taught himself to fly aircraft.
Kid was
is
dedicated.
insane and smart.
Yeah.
Like smart.
Imagine if this kid had a healthy environment where people were supporting him. This
Right.
motherfucker could be he could be an actually good president or a fucking rocket scientist or something.
2016, he got released he was 25 in 2016. And the literal courts say it's a tragedy in many ways, but it's a triumph of human spirit.
Right.
To
Yeah.
reduce the amount that he stole, listen, stealing an aircraft is like stealing a horse in the Middle Ages. It's a big fucking deal to steal a plane. A $500,000 plane. He sold the rights to his story, $1.4 million, and only owes $129.
Didn't get any of it, man.
He did it because he was remorseful. Through and through. He said, I did it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when you fuck with rich
I like how you
people, man.
compare it to old horses as opposed to current things. It's imagine if someone stole your home and drove it across state. You're no, it's like a horse back in the 1800s.
Well, if you stole a horse in the Middle Ages, you'd be hanged. You'd be killed.
Sure.
He stole an aircraft, $500,000, and that's one of the many aircraft that he stole.
And again, it was insured.
So imagine if you stole Grant in my house and somehow sold it somewhere in Canada.
No, he wouldn't
But he
sell
wouldn't
it.
steal your house
He would
because
just-
you don't have a plane or a yacht.
He would just rent.
No, I'm saying the equivalent, the financial
Right, but he's
equivalent.
preying on
No.
people who can afford it.
He would.
Oh,
he
yeah.
would
know what I
break.
mean?
That's
no.
even better, yeah. Then
Right.
I'm-
It's not like
Yeah.
he's coming over and he's just oh, this guy's got a beat-ass Honda Civic. It's mine now. He's check
No.
out this fucking brand new Mercedes. It's mine now.
He would break
you know
in,
what I mean?
take a bubble bath, eat your ice cream, and see if you had a luxury car. But if you had
Yeah.
a bike, he would steal your bike.
Right.
It was literally he was coined as Robin Hood: steal from the rich, keep to his own.
I see. Now you're making me think that the rich weren't even bothered by it.
They weren't because his
I would say they were perturbed.
No. Because his classmate taught him, steal what is insured. So they can get something better.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't steal from the poor. He stole from who he knew items were insured. He stole cell phones, cameras, and cars.
Yeah. Some lady works at Dollar General.
And planes.
Her car gets stolen. She misses her shift. Her whole
And
life's
boats.
fucking over,
Yeah.
right?
Like
Right.
$500,000 boats, Mercedes, luxury cars. He's not stealing a Honda fucking Civic.
But you steal the fucking like Jaguar owner's yacht. I mean, that motherfucker. You know he's
And
got
guess
papers
what?
on it.
He
Dude,
paid
that's
it
the
off.
best. The insurance agent in that area is just
Yeah.
living rich. Yeah. rubbing their
That's
palms
right.
together. You know, this guy's really stealing a lot of yachts around here. You probably need the grade A insurance.
And I mean,
Like paying off the
You need
police.
that like black diamond
Isn't
member
it
insurance.
fucked though? Isn't it fucked that like the insurance companies are just fucking like salivating over this kid? Like,
I mean,
And
actually,
listen.
that
So-
steal it again. All jokes
So-
aside, that does sound something very legitimate. Like
Yeah.
like an insurance company like on the island is basically saying like, "Hey, don't investigate this. Hey, like let
the
whatever
insurance do
whatever's
it, yeah.
happening, let
let
it
him
happen."
cook.
Let him cook. Let him
So,
cook. And they're
listen.
just paying up the cops like, "Here's $100 for you to take a nap." And like $100. I can.
like, listen, he's only investigated for 100 theft cases while he's running through and the pillaging. Plus, he got $1.4 million, and all of it went to his victims. Plus, he owes hundreds of thousands of dollars. No, fuck him. No, he actively chose to steal from the rich. And honestly, the first plane that he stole was a radio host, excuse me. And he was bashing him. He goes, "Oh, he stole my plane. He's awful." You know what? You're fucking dead. You can't collect the money. Fuck you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The plane was able to be restored. The first plane he stole was able to be restored in Florida, and he brought back. It wasn't totaled, even after he crashed it.
Plus, it also makes you look very unsympathetic when you're like, "Can you believe this guy stole my yacht?" Like it's kind of like,
Yeah.
fuck you a little bit, you know? Like who really gives a shit?
But also, we don't even know if he committed all the crimes he's accused of because he was just accused of so many theft and burglaries. He was just accused of so many. And
She also probably committed a shitload more that they'd never even bothered with, you know? Because
Yeah.
he probably did like lift someone's like Rolex from a really nice house, and they were just like they didn't even notice it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, if he's lotioned up in a bath,
This
Go down to
lotioned-ass
the
kid
bathing.
takes your Rolex, you just count it as a loss and move on.
and he gave $100, like he gave $100 to a vet.
2 animals, guys.
Obviously, it's a plot. It's like a play of like Catch Me If You Can. But he was like, obviously, this money's hard for me to come by. I'm going to give it to the animals.
They probably spayed 3 cats and got some dog medicine with that $100.
What was this kid's
man.
name again?
Colton, hold on, let me just. His name is Colton Harrison Moore. He's still alive.
Colton Harrison Moore. If you just by chance happen to be listening to this podcast,
You like
or if
comedy
anybody,
and true crime.
To the biggest true crime comedy podcast in the Metro Nashville area.
all I'm saying
Easily
is
the biggest.
all I'm saying
Easily
is,
the biggest with over 500 downloads.
Over
wouldn't it-
500 by this
wouldn't,
point.
Wouldn't it be crazy though if we got this kid on?
Honestly, if
That'd be
this
awesome.
guy's around, he's like our age.
Let's-
Just
well-
hit us up, dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's born in 1991.
yeah, he's
March.
just a few years older
Right.
than us.
He's a
He's like, what, 33?
Aries. He's an Aries.
Aries season.
I am
Okay.
putting all of my faith into the idea of the 6 degrees of separation. Have you ever played the Kevin Bacon
Yeah,
game?
Yeah.
yeah.
I am putting all of my faith into the 500 downloaders that we have right now to
Someone
get us,
somewhere
Well-
to
knows
get us
someone.
and
Well-
to get us a hold of this kid, so that we can interview, and that would put us on the fucking.
You know what?
I-
I will say, I'll say this. Don't contact us other than through the email, which is don't email trashville@gmail.com.
Don't email trashville@gmail.com.
Seriously, don't email trashville@gmail.com.
Don't email trashville@gmail.com.
What's happening?
The who? But yeah, email us through that. We talked about the Peter Shoes thing. Just say you're Peter Shoes.
Well, I did have a big conversation with Saloon Broadchest, which is not going to be aired, my partner. And he said, oh, he's probably a pilot in a third world country. Like, someone probably was just like, fuck it, let's go.
Hey, man, if you are, I hope wherever you are, Colton, even if we don't ever get to talk to you, which would be sad.
I hope
you're having a good time, man. I hope you're flying planes, not crashing them for your own sake. And I hope you're just enjoying yourself, man.
And honestly, the fact that, like, he raised money to freeze his mother, and when she passed away before they reached it, he donated the money. He could have taken that money and applied it to the debt that he's owed. And honestly, it's heartbreaking that the money that he raised for his flight school was taken and paid for his debts because you were a kid. You were honestly a fucking kid. And it's.
I bet you if he'd gone to that flight school in Florida that the 9/11 hijackers went to, they would have taken him. They'd take everybody.
But honestly, look at that picture. That kid was giving cunt in that picture, that selfie.
I wonder what he looks like
saying
now.
Cunt, like C-U-N-T?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
I just wanted to...
But like, you know, like in like a gay version, it's like, giving cunt.
You know, like you're serving cunt.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Like you smell fish.
I just wanted to make sure that's what she was actually saying.
Yep, that's what she's been saying.
We can bleep it. We can bleep it. We can
No.
bleep it.
It's not even a bleep thing. I was just like, is this a term that I'm missing?
Well,
Okay.
I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say it. The S word, I've been using it a lot, and it's lost a sting. It's lost a sting.
What?
Which S word?
Which
Slut. I called you a slut. I called you a slut. I called you a slut.
You've been calling slut a lot.
Can we keep that? Can we keep that sound bit of the can falling over? That's
Yeah.
It really sells it.
That is murder.
You're a slut. He's a slut. You're a slut.
that is so on brand of murder schmurder.
Yeah. My phone dies, and I'm like, wow, you dirty slut. Who been fucking?
Who's been draining you, slut?
It's me on TikTok.
I swear to God, though, this kid makes me just want to drop everything and just
I do. I want to
Run.
fucking fight for culture
just
because
run.
I want to live like this guy.
Yeah.
like 2 judges said, I feel bad for you.
Yeah. And the
he's
judge's name was Churchill, so you know it wasn't an easy
And it was
swing.
a woman. The first one, she was a
Lady
woman.
Churchill. What?
Yeah.
Lady Churchill.
Mm-hmm. Like, he deserves so much. And he even says, like, the first time I flew, it was exhilarating, but my life is fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Just so sad.
Colton, I hope you're good out there. I hope you're having a good time. We really enjoyed your story. Sally, I'm so glad you came here to tell it.
Saltwater, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Stole so many planes, and I hope you steal some more.
Hell
hope
yeah.
you guys
Steal them
enjoyed it.
planes. Apparently, it's a lot easier than you think.
And we got drunker for every plane that you stole. Thank you, Colton.
Right. Just remember, if you're a person with a plane, do not keep your keys on the seat or in the visor because it's going to get stolen.
Yeah, for all you rich fucking assholes out there, if you're going to be rich, be responsible.
Or don't, but just don't sue anybody about it.
Keep the keys on.
Keep the keys on the dash.
Right.
Yeah.
If anything bad happens to you, just understand that it's your bad.
Just wink, wink. The keys are always on the seat.
Yeah.
Just fucking get your trust fund to like release a little bit more money, replace it. You're fucking fine, dude.
Yeah.
Your insurance rates may go up a little bit, but you can afford it. Let's be honest.
You're
You'll
asking an
be
inmate.
fine.
You're asking an inmate to pay you back. He already paid you $1.4 million, and you're asking for $200,000 more.
Get over
Also, Sally
yourselves.
Saltwater is not only a real estate agent, but she's going into the insurance agency world. So, so
You heard it here first.
Life insurance. So please don't kill your husband or spouse because it's noticeable. You know.
Do you also give tips on how to make it less suspicious?
I can tell you how to make it
she's
an
like,
accident.
I want a divorce. And she's like, you mean you want to kill him? And she's like, no, just divorce. Like, oh.
no,
Arsenic is a fun poison. It also smells like almonds.
You know, I haven't been feeling so sick ever since I've been getting oatmeal first thing every morning.
You know,
Keep
you
eating
tell
the
me,
oatmeal.
you tell me, you go, I want to leave my husband. I go, I can make it an accident.
Jesus Christ.
Sally Saltwater, everybody.
And on that note, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks
Anyway-
for joining
Podcast.
us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I'm gonna keep-
Save the murder
Thank
tips for
you.
Patreon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sally Saltwater.
Woo, thank you. Thank
This
you
is
for
Joseph
having me.
saying goodnight and thank you for listening.
This is Austin saying I took more tequila than I should have.
This is Sally Saltwater. This is Sally Saltwater. Worried how she's gonna get home tonight.
This is Jamie, bidding you all a good night.
Grant here. Goodbye.
Like what you hear? Subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Trashville_USA. And if there's a true crime story you want the gang to cover, email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com. Murder Schmurder is produced by Jamie. Our tracking engineer is Grant. Episodes are edited by X. And our mix and mastering engineer is Julie. Incidental music and our theme song is provided by Jules. This has been another production of